Good morning, everybody. Hey, it's Melanie Mitro, and I am over here on my business page, excited for another Business Tip Tuesday. I swear that these Tuesdays just happen faster and faster. It is June 20th, which it's hard to believe it is halfway through the month of June. Like, I want it to slow down, but I'm excited about today's topic. So today's topic, I am talking to you about maximizing your social media content to reach the most people. You know, a lot of times I hear from other people that will say to me, I just don't know how you do it, Melanie. How are you in so many different places at one time? And it's because I've mastered the art of using social media to my advantage. And every time that I get a piece of content, I think about how can I maximize this content in multiple different ways. And so we're going to talk a lot about all of the different platforms that I use and how I maximize those today. All right. So I want to start by saying, if you're new to my Melanie Mitro page, you know, I started my business 6 years ago in my kitchen in our tiny little townhouse with 2 children. I had a 6-month-old and I had a little over 2-year-old. Landon was a little over 2 at that time. And for me, when I began, I had no social media following whatsoever. I had no background in network marketing. I knew nothing about how to build an online business. Everything that I have done has been self-taught and has been through trial and error and has been through fearlessly failing my way forward. And I will say that I'm sure every entrepreneur out there can vouch for the fact that they have not had all of the steps figured out, but were willing to try and were willing to fail forward over and over and over until they figured it out. So if I just can take you on a journey of how this sort of happened for me, and I can cut your learning curve in half. All right, let's dive right in. So here's the thing. When I created a piece of content 6 years ago, I would put it on Facebook. Then I would try to come up with something totally different for Instagram. And then I'd try to come up with something totally different for my like page. And here I was, you know, starting this business, having very limited amounts of time. And I was feeling overwhelmed because I didn't know how to come up with all of this different content for all of these platforms that I was on. And so I heard this great little piece of advice from Chalene Johnson, and it never left my mind. And I use this piece of advice every single time I go to make content. It is saying to yourself, when I create a piece of content, I need to create it in such a way that it can be shared on 3 different platforms, 3 different ways. So let me give you an example. I created an Instagram account, and for all of you that are watching this, make sure that your Instagram account is a business account so you can track those insights. That was one of the first things that I did as a coach. Did I know how to use Instagram? No. But it had really cool filters that I could use on my photos. And I was like, yes, perfect. I stink at taking selfies. So this is a great way to make them look cooler. And then I can take that photo and then I can put that on Facebook as well. And so that was how I started with Instagram. I basically went and I added all my friends on Facebook. There's that little button that allows you to add. And so I just added everybody to Instagram too. I would go into Instagram, and every day, every post that I would make on Facebook, you could also find on my Instagram account. But you're going to find that you have 2 totally different markets on each platform. So you can begin to reach people on Instagram that don't have a Facebook account. You can reach people on Facebook that don't have an Instagram account, and vice versa. So there's 2 different markets. Even though a lot of times people have both, they tend to prefer to check into one versus the other. So when I started creating my content, I would make all of my images square. Why? Because if I make an image square when I post it on Instagram, that's what it needs to be, a square photo. But it doesn't matter on Facebook. I can make it a square photo as well. So it just kind of killed 2 birds with 1 stone. So I'd make my post on Instagram. What I would do is I learned how to use hashtags, and I learned how to use hashtags by searching what are popular hashtags, how to use hashtags. I just went to Google and I started to understand what hashtags were. I followed other, top leaders in network marketing and in business. I would always look at their hashtags and what they used, and I began to say, that hashtag doesn't apply to me, but I really like that hashtag. Or I would just use hashtags to search for things. And then when I found a hashtag that I found a lot of things that I liked, then I would put that on my list of hashtags to use. And so I would try to put at least 15 different tags on each of my pictures on Instagram. Then I would take that photo, and I don't just click the share button on Instagram so that it just automatically pops up on Facebook. I actually copy the text of Instagram. I do not copy all of those hashtags, maybe one or two of the key ones. Then I go over to my Facebook app and I open up Facebook, and now I take the image from Instagram that I used, and that becomes my image. Then I paste my text minus the 20 hashtags. Maybe there's just one or two there. And now I've got a Facebook post. So I've shared it 2 ways so far, 2 ways. Now, what's going to be the third way that I share that content? Well, at the beginning of my business, when I was building my like page, which is my Facebook business page, I was like, I don't know what to put on this page. I don't know what to do with it, but I know that I need a Facebook like page so that I can eventually start finding people outside of my warm market, people that aren't connected to me. But I can also, on this like page, share way more stuff. There's no limit to how many times I can put content on a like page. And so people are just going to follow that page because they like my content. And so I would use my morning workouts or my recipes that I would share or fitness motivation quotes, and they would go also on my business page. And so what was happening is I was starting to create content in multiple different places. Now, that was sort of me getting started. I knew that I needed to get this engine running. I knew that I needed to start getting some credibility. This was me at the very beginning. I also started a blog because people kept asking me the same stinking questions over and over and over again. What is Shakeology? What is a challenge group? What is a coach? How much does it cost? Is Shakeology really taste good? How do you make a meal plan? What's your favorite dinner recipes? What would you say is your favorite snack ideas? If I found that people were asking me the same question over and over again, that's a perfect blog post. Because now what I can do is every time somebody asks me the same question, I can say, well, I wrote a post about it. Here you go. And I can share that link. Or as I was preparing my challenge group guides, I would say to myself, all right, I need to explain what is meal planning, or how do you make a meal plan, or how do you use the 21-day fix containers. That is easy. I am literally typing somebody out the directions for how to do something. And so now I can make that a blog post. And instead of every time I run a challenge group copying and pasting that text, I can copy and paste the blog post, which increases the amount of traffic that I am getting to my website or to my blog, because every challenger that goes into my challenge group is now going to click that link, which is going to help me move up in affinity. When I create those blog posts, for example, maybe I'm talking about my 21-day fix progress update, and I'm giving people sort of a rundown of how the last week of my workouts and my nutrition and fitness went. So when I'm thinking about typing out that post, I am not going back and recreating all of this new content for it. I am taking images from the past week that I've put on social media. I will pull my morning workout pictures. I'll put those into the blog post. I will share my meal plan that I put on my Facebook page. I'll put that into my blog post. If I did any live videos, I'll put those into my blog post. And what happens is now I've got content where I've typed up a description of how the last week of the 21-day fix went. I've got images that I've already created that were Facebook posts earlier in the week, and my meal plan. And now when I publish that, I can share that as a Facebook post. All right, so I can take that image, I can put that on Facebook, and I can say, like, here's my blog post for the week. And I installed the pin it button on the browser of my computer. And so once you publish a blog post or something on your website, all you do is hit that little pin it button, and it extracts the images from your blog post. And now all of those images I can pin to pin boards on Pinterest. I have a fitness motivation, I have a clean eating board, a shift shop board, a 21-day fix board. And so now, can you see where my content is being shared multiple ways? We've got it on Instagram, Facebook, like page, Pinterest, and web, right? We've got it on my website. So now I'm maximizing all of the content I'm making and not needing to create new, and it's beginning to sprinkle myself out there in different places. The next thing I want you to think about is Facebook Live videos that you create or YouTube videos. So for me personally, anytime that I create a Facebook Live, anytime that I create a video for my team, I always make it in a format that I could upload it to YouTube. So what you want to do, if, for example, I'm doing Facebook Live with you right now. So whenever I'm done with this Facebook Live video, I will download the video right to my phone, and then I will upload it to my YouTube channel. And so then what I'll do is I will tag the photo in YouTube. I will make it public. I'll add it to my Business Tip Tuesday playlist. So now not only have you all wonderful people that are following me here that are viewing and sharing this video, but then when I upload it to YouTube, now all of my followers on YouTube that aren't connected to my business page can get to experience Business Tip Tuesday. Then the third way that I'm going to share that is I'm going to take that YouTube link and I write a blog post about every single Business Tip Tuesday that I have ever done. So now the people on my website that maybe aren't connected to me on Facebook or don't follow me on YouTube yet can now connect with me through my website. Click to my Facebook page and click to my YouTube channel and get more information about who I am and what it is that I do. It's a very simple, easy step to click the download button and then to go on over to YouTube and upload your video right to YouTube. It doesn't take a lot of extra time, but it's going to build you credibility as well. All right? Okay, so with that being said, as you're going through your business, I want you to think to yourself, what other ways, what extra things could you be doing to make sure that your content is getting out there to others? When you make a video for your challengers in your challenge group about how to navigate Beachbody On Demand, could that be something that could be a video that you put on your YouTube channel? Could How to Navigate Beachbody On Demand be a great blog post because maybe there are other people out there that don't have coaches that just went to Team Beachbody and created a free account and bought the 14-day trial, and maybe they're looking for tutorials on how to use Beachbody On Demand or Sean Week, or they're looking for workout calendars or meal plans. All of those things, all of that content shouldn't just stay in one social media platform, because trust me, you want to think of all the different ways you can influence and impact people so that they can find their way back to you. All right, so questions. You guys have questions about how to share your content in multiple different ways. And I will tell you, now that we have Instagram stories and Snapchat, that is another great opportunity for you to be able to share even more information throughout your lifestyle as well. So you can share things on Instagram stories, you can share things on Facebook. I will tell you that a lot of times I will pull like the best video, or not the best video, the best image, and I will put that on Instagram, but then I'll create an album on Facebook, or I will pick the best image for Facebook and then I'll create, a blog post about the Shift Shop transformation results, where I'm giving a ton of transformation stories that I can share and pin to Pinterest and share with other people. So I'm always thinking about how is it that I can maximize my opportunities with the content that I am creating. All right, so I don't think that my comments are actually working, so let me just go over here and check out what you guys are saying and what questions that you have so that I can answer them in real time. Katie Dale, did I Google how to install the pin it button on your blog? Yes. So I installed it on my browser. So basically the pin it button is on like where URL is on your browser. So Google Chrome, there's a little, it says just Google how to install the pin it button to my browser. And then it's very simple and easy. And now every time I publish a blog post, I view the post, click the pin it button, all of my images pop up. Now I can pin them through Pinterest as well. Valerie Jackson, do you think it's possible to blog from a phone? No access to a computer as of yet. I believe I use WordPress for my blog. I used to use Blogger, but I switched it over. I know Blogger has an app for your phone, so yes, you could. Do I think it's gonna have the same, look? Not sure. You maybe can give it a try, but it's up to you. And here's the other thing. Don't feel like you have to do every one of these in order to be successful. Choose one that you're gonna focus on for right now. Facebook and maybe Instagram is your secondary, or Instagram and then blogging is gonna be your secondary. And don't forget Don't lose sight of the most important business building basics while you're building this secondary source as well, okay? Having old blog posts or older ones to share is a great idea, yes. And Elizabeth, I will tell you, I use that how to meal plan and how to prep and, how to overcome a weight loss plateau and, what are the best quality sources of protein. All of those blog posts that I've written over the last 6 years, they keep being recycled in my challenge groups because I'll pull from that information, which helps my blog to stay relevant, to keep my views up, but it's just a great hub for me to have resources that I can constantly pull from as well. All right, guys. So that's my business tip for today. I know it's not long and in depth, but I wanted to give you that little nugget because I want to save you some time. I don't want you to feel like you're glued to your computer 24/7, and I hope that this makes your life a little bit easier and that you begin to think of all the ways you can share your content as you're building your business. All right, guys, until next week, until Business Tip Tuesday next week, have a great week. Don't forget to send me some messages if you have, suggestions or ideas of things you would like me to talk about in future Business Tip Tuesdays. Go ahead and send me a private message right here on my like page, or you can go visit melaniemitro.com, subscribe, and send me an email to mjmitro@gmail.com. Have a wonderful Tuesday, and I will see you guys next week. Bye, everybody.